I really hope it will. I really, really hope it will, and we will all work together to make this happen, because if it stops, then we go back. I mean, we know this for 80 years. It's happening all the time. The same thing. There is, I mean, now it's culminated in a genocide, but before there were always atrocities and attacks, and Palestinians were never safe, nor in Gaza, nor in the West Bank.
The Israeli occupation genocide against the Palestinian people in the occupied territory, particularly in Gaza, opened the world's eye on the true face of the occupation, on Israel as a colonial power, pushing activists, think tanks, and writers to take action for Palestine. Dalia Sarig, Austrian activist of Jewish origin born in Vienna, renounced Israeli citizenship due to moral and political disagreements. She organized the first Jewish anti-Zionist Congress on June 13, refusing to conflate Zionism with Judaism. I'm really pleased that Dalia is joining me now via Zoom. Welcome to the program, Dalia.
Thank you so much for the invitation. It means a lot to me. Thank you.
You're welcome. Dalia, we are following up your activities in Vienna and the demonstrations, the protests that you organize and take part in to pressure the Austrian government and to highlight the suffering of the Palestinian people, to pressure Israel to stop its massacres and its genocidal campaign against the Palestinian people in Gaza and end its occupation of the Palestinian land. But about 2 years and nothing happened. The genocide is going on. Starvation is getting worse and worse every day. So your take on that?
Yeah, nothing is going on, and I think it's our duty to pressure our governments to take action. We are trying to do this here, and we are also trying to spoke clear words at the Anti-Zionist Congress, the Jewish Anti-Zionist Congress in Vienna. And it was very meaningful to do it in Vienna, because Vienna is the birthplace of Zionism. Herzl has been living there. He wrote his Judenstaat here in Vienna. And still there is, for example, a stair that is called after his name. And the municipality and the government, they commemorate Herzl and celebrate him. And even this year was the year, it was officially declared as the year of Herzl from the municipality in Vienna. Yeah. So yeah, it's meaningful. That it's,
and it was the first time that such a conference is organized in Europe. So if you tell us about how the participation in that conference was, and if you put us also in the picture of the takeaways of it.
Yeah, it was important for us to mention that it's a Jewish anti-Zionist Congress, in order to make clear that anti-Zionism is not anti-Semitic. This is a narrative that is always mentioned, and we wanted to make clear that this is not the case, and this is why we said it's a Jewish anti-Zionist Congress, and there were a lot of Jewish people from all over the world, anti-Zionists, coming to join. But it was, on the same hand, very important for us to say that this is not only for Jews. It was meant to be to be a gathering of all people that want to be active and make a statement that they are anti-Zionist, and that Zionism is that Zionism leads to what we see now.
Yeah, you mentioned, Dalia, that Vienna is like the cradle of the first Zionist conference, and Herzl is a descendant of Vienna. So did you face any resistance to the conference? Did anybody try to prevent you from organizing that or to thwart your efforts? Or it was easy for you to organize it?
No, it was not easy at all. The most difficult part is to organize a venue, because nobody here is willing to give us a place, a venue where we can meet. We had a venue that welcomed us. It is connected to the church, and they invited us to do it there. But then the church, the Caritas, it's the NGO of the Catholic Church, asked the stakeholders of this place whether someone has objections. And one Zionist foundation that puts in a lot of money to this venue and to this project said that they are going to pull out if we do this. So they cancelled the agreement immediately, and they even did it only not written.
Yeah. And Dalia, Sariq, the timing of the conference is very important and it's very symbolic, as you're discussing Zionism while the Zionist movement is committing genocide against the Palestinian people in Gaza in different ways: bombing, missiles, and the starvation, which is really the worst. So how important is that?
Yeah, I think it's really very important, and we also want to continue to do this every year, at least, and to gather all the forces that are working for a free Palestine and to stop this genocide now. But it's more than stopping the genocide. It's also to make clear that what Zionism is about, and that it's a structural, the structure of Zionism that leads to genocide inherently. So this is the importance of this conference, and we will continue. We are working on a publication so that everybody can have can refer to it, and and it's the first one of this.
And if we talk about the larger picture of your activities and the activities of people like you, whether in Vienna, Germany, Britain, all of Europe, the United States, the world, do you think that the last French move and the declaration by the President of France, Macron, that France would recognize the state of Palestine this September, and just yesterday we listened to the announcement of the British Prime Minister that Britain would recognize the state of Palestine unless Israel stops its war on Gaza. First, how do you see this political move in Europe, and is it a result of the public pressure on these governments, or it is a structural issue and part of the political system of France and the UK?
Yeah, I mean, I believe that it is so obvious now what Israel is doing, that those politicians want to wash their hands, at least, because I mean there is also files of complicity of the French of some French politicians, for example, going on in France. And I believe that also other European or Western politicians that supported the genocide, and without the support of the Western governments, the States and Great Britain and also Austria, this could not have been happened. So I believe it's an attempt to whitewash. I mean, I think 1 month ago, Great Britain declared that PAL Action is a terrorist organization. They are doing both. Yeah, they are delegitimizing the Palestine Solidarity Movement on the one hand, and on the other hand, trying to whitewash their hands from their complicity.
Yeah. So, do you think that this move by France and by the UK is a significant political move on which we can build for the future, or it is just to whitewash their participation in the genocide against the Palestinians, because we all know of the military aid that Israel got from these countries, especially at the start of its war?
Yeah, I would not trust any of these governments, because, as you said, they earn a lot of money by supporting the genocide, and yeah, I mean, it's words, it's saying, it's trying to whitewash their hands, but I would not. I mean, it's a lot of times we had an activity on Saturday where a group of people, me as well. We went into we disturbed the Salzburg Fest Spiele, which is one of the biggest cultural events worldwide. And all the political leaders were there, and also the economic leaders. And we thought that some of the people were talking about what's happening in Gaza, and we thought that there is some kind of awakening. But we just found out that they were then afterwards busy with talking about the security measures that did allow us, this group of people, to come in, instead of talking about the security of the people in Gaza. So no, I would not rely on what they say, neither the politicians nor the economic elites and nor the media as well.
Yeah. Concerning the public opinion in Europe and the Western countries in general, we saw the demonstrations by hundreds of thousands, and sometimes 1 million people participate in these demonstrations in important capitals in the world. Do you think that such a pressure would continue even if Israel listens to the word and stops its war? But this doesn't mean that it ends its occupation of Palestine. Shall this international solidarity movement continue with the same momentum? What do you think?
I really hope it will. I really, really hope it will, and we will all work together to make this happen, because if it stops, then we go back. I mean, we know this for 80 years. It's happening all the time, the same thing. There is, now it's culminated in a genocide, but before there were always atrocities and attacks, and Palestinians were never safe, nor in Gaza, nor in the West Bank. So, it will be our task, the tasks of the activists, the core groups of the activists, to continue to work. And I mentioned it in an interview yesterday in the Austrian media, because they asked me if I will continue, and I said, I will continue until I will be able to go to a free Palestine with my Palestinian friends. So yes, we have to stay and to continue the fight and the struggle.
Yeah, and do you think that such a dream would come true, and you would visit Palestine as a free country with your Palestinian friends? While we see the word calls for stopping the war in Gaza, for ending the occupation, stopping building settlements in the West Bank. But what's happening on the ground is completely different. The starvation is worsening in Gaza. Israel is bombing the people there. And the settlements are increasing here, making the life of the Palestinians in Jerusalem and West Bank almost impossible.
Yeah, it's terrible, and I believe the only way. I mean, I've been living in occupied Palestine for several years, and I know, as well as other people know, Jewish Israelis, anti-Zionists know that the only way to stop this is by sanctioning Israel, because they will not do it without any pressure from outside. And they cannot be silent anymore, obviously, because the pictures and the genocide is so monstrous. But they will they be silent now. But they will not. They will only sanctions and massive economic pressure as well will make a change, and we are working for it.
Yeah, and Dalia, we don't undermine or understate the importance of the move by France and by Britain with regard to the recognition of the state of Palestine. It's very important, but do you think that this would be followed by practical steps on the ground? You mentioned sanctions on the apartheid genocidal regime of Israel. Do you think that these European countries are going to get to that level? And impose sanctions on Israel?
We will strongly support and pressure our governments to do so. I mean, this is what we are talking about all the time, that our governments have to impose sanctions because we know that nothing will happen otherwise. So I don't know if it really will happen, but we will not stop until it will happen, because we know that it will be it will continue. Also, I mean, a two-state solution, I don't believe in it anymore. That's my personal point of view now, because I think that the future is one democratic state, but I find it difficult to even talk about it after genocide. I cannot imagine how Palestinians will be likely or willing to share the country with people that made this genocide and atrocities. I don't know.
At the same time, it is difficult to imagine that people like the Israeli Minister of Security, Home Security, Beni Gvir, or the Minister of Finance, Smotrich, accept to live with the Palestinians under one umbrella, one state, and one person, one vote. I think it's unreachable.
Yeah, it's very, very difficult to imagine. But anyhow, I mean, I will not be there. I will not live there. I'm here in Austria, and I will support everything that will be decided from the people, by the people that live there, and how they want to continue to live. And
my final question to you, while you are living in Vienna, but you're interested in the Palestinian situation, and you're watching the people dying of hunger imposed on them by the Israeli blockade. So what do you see to the Palestinian women, the Palestinian mothers, the Palestinian girls who spend hours and hours looking for a sack of a flour, and they don't find it, and when they send their children to try and get it, their children return to them lifeless bodies? What do you say to them?
That I'm with my whole heart seeing it, and I'm crying a lot, I'm seeing it. I'm thinking of the people there, and my heart is with them, and I wish I could do some more things, because everything I do, even the conference or didn't until now save one life, and I'm very aware of it, and I'm really crying, and it's also, I mean, it's a terrible feeling when you see it, when you want to stop it, and there is no possibility for you to stop it. People tried everything, going there, talking about it and everything, and it's not stopping. It's continuing, and the only thing that I do is crying. But then also I see that I don't have the luxury of sitting here and crying and be. And doing nothing. I have to use this sadness and this anger to be active and to try my best and everything I can to stop it. And I think in Austria and even in Germany or in Europe as well as in America, it's very important to make clear that anti-Zionism is not anti-Semitic, and this is why I think that the anti-Zionist Jewish voice is so important. And I think after the conference and after also our disruptance of the Festspiele last week made a point. I mean, it's more and more people understand that Judaism is not Zionism, and that to be anti-Zionist is not to be anti-Semitic, and I think that's very important. And I hope that this will empower people to speak out more clearly and to grow. Because I really think that people on the streets in demonstrations, demanding, speaking out, will make a change, and will also pressure our governments to take action. I believe that's the way. But me and a lot of other people trying our best. I mean, the activity on Saturday, we were half of the persons that were involved were Jewish. And they immediately tried to say it was an anti-Semitic interference, but they cannot do that any longer. And this is one of the columns on which the narrative is built on. So we're smashing this column, and I think it's more and more clear that this is not a question of saving Jewish people, saving or anti-Semitism. It's about stopping this genocide. It's about seeing what the Zionist movement is about and what it leads to.
Dalia Sarik, thank you very much. It has been a great honor having you in our program. Thank you.
Thank you so much. The honor was mine. Thank you very much.
Thank you. And ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for watching. And from me, Osama Nazal, have a nice time.